Hey guys, Meteorologist Chris Tomer here with this morning mountain weather update on this Friday. I want to go right to radar out of Utah. You're still in the thick of it across the Wasatch and the high Uintas. I've got moderate to heavy snow continuing until noontime today, and then it's going to taper off. And skies might actually clear this afternoon as the whole storm system begins to transition away from the Wasatch, the high Uintas, and into Colorado. And it's going to actually get cut off from the main flow. So you're still in it there in Utah. Let me just take you on a little bit of a tour. So snow coming down at pretty much all elevations of solitude. You can see it up there, Honeycomb and Sunshine Bowl. Snow all the way down to the parking lot. Not a ton of snow at the parking lot. And this goes to what I've been saying the last couple of days. Your heaviest snow accumulations in Little and Big Cottonwood Canyon, the Wasatch in general, will be above 9,000. And that's what we're seeing. But it is snowing all the way down to lower elevations. Alta is reporting about 6 inches, but there's more than that higher on the mountain, above 10,000 feet. You can see some of the cameras here up at Sugarloaf, for example. Snow still coming down. That's where you're going to see some of your bigger accumulations. All right, so that's Utah. In Colorado, you've seen a little bit of appetizer snow, but your best snow has yet to come. This is Wolf Creek. You can see the snow all the way down to the base area, but you've got 2.5 days of big snow accumulation yet to go at Wolf Creek, Silverton, the high peaks of the San Juans, Telluride to some degree higher up. And I'll show you those maps coming up, but that's Wolf Creek. You've got at least a foot of snow yet to go in Wolf Creek. I want to take you to X briefly and show you that we did have a little bit of snow. That's Matt Lorelli in the Sierra. You can see his video, some snow coming down there. He lives in the Sierra around Tahoe. And Matt works for Powder. You might be familiar with him, and you can see some of the snow. So kind of far-reaching effects here, from the Sierra to Nevada to Utah to Wyoming to Montana to Idaho, and now everything's sort of transitioning towards Colorado, where now A Basin, you can see it, they're blowing snow at A Basin. So colder temperatures, and I'm expecting at least a couple of inches of natural snow at A Basin, Loveland, where they can make snow now, Keystone, Winter Park. So not incredibly heavy natural snow on the way, but it will be colder so you can make the snow. And the biggest snow is going to be down in southwest Colorado, like I've been saying. Here's the setup. On water vapor satellite imagery, so your drier air aloft is in your oranges and reds, and your moisture's right here. There's our main area of low pressure digging into Utah, approaching Colorado. So it's got all that moisture out ahead of it, colder air helping to bring that rain snow line to lower elevations. Now behind it, and I'm going to explain this in a second, but the flow is going to start to turn and back and favor BC for the storm track. So that's what is ahead once we get through the storm system. That leads me into my bullet points this morning. So Utah, you're in the thick of it until probably 11 a.m. to noon today, and then the snow will taper, and your skies might actually clear this afternoon into tonight with sunshine tomorrow. Your heaviest snow will continue to be above 9,000 with less accumulation below that. In Colorado, the bulk of snow starts today, continues into the 19th and 20th as the low cuts off, and the circulation continues to deliver heavy snow to southwest Colorado. And then once this storm exits, the whole pattern is going to shift to the north and favor BC, and with minor fronts sweeping through the Intermountain West. All right, let me show you the time height forecast for Red Mountain Pass and southwest Colorado over the San Juans, and we're socked in. This is a forecast of humidity in the atmosphere through all the vertical layers, and you can read the timeline at the bottom. The forecast timeline from right to left goes out about 72 to 80 hours, and you can see it. We're in the thick of it for the San Juans as well, with high humidity, that moisture being transported by the wind up and over the high peaks and squeezing out that moisture. So that is the forecast, and then it dries out after about 72 hours in the San Juan. So let me show you what the forecast jet looks like by close of business today. You can see the area of low pressure, that trough sitting over the four corners, and eventually it's going to get cut off from the main flow. Watch it happen. Boom. And there's 1020, and then it exits on 1021. So we've got 2.5 days of it sitting and spinning over New Mexico and Colorado. And then just minor fronts for the Intermountain with the main flow, the main jet favoring BC and the Pacific Northwest through 1026 and 1027. All right, let's look at the forecast radar and satellite here. So here it is by 5:30 this afternoon. A lot of the emphasis has shifted away from the Wasatch, away from the high Uintas, and into Colorado and New Mexico. And there's still some circulation over Bryan Head and southern Utah. Now, by the time we get to tomorrow morning, there's your flow at about 10 in the morning on Saturday. Some leftover snow over southern Utah. Snow continues in the San Juans, the San Juan Mountains of Colorado, south of I-70, and down into northern New Mexico. By Saturday night, there's your flow. Everything has shifted even further to the south. Now, by Sunday, here comes the low. It's going to start to make its move. Everything kind of swipes the I-70 corridor on its way out, and then it's much drier. Minor fronts sweeping through the northern tier, but overall drier, much quieter. Now, by the time we get to 1025 and beyond, two different storm systems, at least, are going to run their way through the Pacific Northwest and BC with heavy snow potential over the high peaks of BC. Okay, here is my snow forecast. Here's what remains the rest of today through 1022, potentially another 5 or 6 inches above 9,000 feet in the Wasatch and also in the high Uintas. Um, what you see up in the BC area, some pretty good snow through 1022, potentially a foot through Whistler and up to Marmot. In Colorado, the heaviest snow is going to be confined to the San Juans. Less snow as you go outside of that. In fact, I'll take you up there here in a second. But Taos and Angel Fire could pick up 5 to 8 inches of snow. So that's phase one. Here's phase two, 1023 through 1027. Everything shifts to the north, but still some hefty snow remaining for parts of BC and the Pacific Northwest through Baker and Whistler, with that additional storm track hitting those areas and just minor fronts sweeping down through Montana, Idaho, and Wyoming. All right, let's zoom in here to the San Juans of Colorado. Rest of today through 1022. Again, at least a foot on the way for a lot of areas, maybe even up to 2 feet. Anywhere in purple is a foot or more. So that's additional snow yet to go in the San Juans of Colorado. And like I said, less snow as you go north. I'm only predicting maybe 1 to 4 inches through parts of Elbert and Massive and along the I-70 corridor, the West Elks, through Aspen and Snowmass. Maybe 2, 3, 4 inches up over the top of Bay Basin, Loveland, Winter Park, Keystone, Copper, and Breck. So it will be cold enough, though, to make snow. You'll get a little bit of natural snow. So, guys, that's going to do it for this this morning mountain weather update on this Friday. Again, here's where we have yet to go with additional snow accumulation. Rest of today through 1022. All right, guys, take care. Have a great day. Enjoy the new snow, and we'll talk later.